Hi, today I'm going to be unboxing the Liroro Fairytale House. This is the second in the ball joint doll line of the Liroros. Here's just a quick look at the box. Here's 3 of the characters on this side, some information on the back, and then the other 3. This is a set of 6 total characters with the chance to get either a general hidden or a super hidden, but those chances are quite low. So there's just the it's typically just going to be the 6 standard characters. So we'll start off pulling out the first box and then the individual boxing. So yeah, here you can see the 2 hiddens and the chance that they have on them, where it's 1 out of 48 for the general, 1 out of 96 for the super hidden. I really like the box design for the whole box and then each individual one. It's very cute and pretty, and you know, this character looking very Alice in Wonderland with the tea party going on. With the first box open, it looks like we have the Nutcracker character. Here we've got her ID card. Very cute. And in her packaging and all of her little accessories. Here's a close-up of the Nutcracker's face. I like her little expression and her colorways. And then here's a look at where her magnet placement is within her hair so that her hat can attach securely. And a little quick spin of her hair. She's got like a little bit of like a lighter coloring to the tips of her brown, but it's kind of like a light brown and then into some like little highlights down here. Okay, so I am really loving the quality of these outfits and the whole doll itself so far. One thing I really liked is that this dress, over this piece with the ruffle, like the collars attached to the little like flaps and stuff in the front and the back, and so that was separate from the dress, and I wasn't expecting that. You do have to take her head off like fully pretty much to get this piece on over. There's a little bit of stretch in the neck, but yeah, I'm fine with that. And then the dress just by itself is like pretty cute too, just a simple kind of thing. And I love how they always have the little bows and the little charms and stuff. Those are sewn down and not glued on, so those should stay on pretty well. And her balance is, there goes her hat, but her balance is like pretty decent. It's a lot better without the hat, because they are already like a little top heavy, but it does feel like it's not too hard to get her to find a position that she can just like hold on her own. Of course, a doll stand would make it better for them to pose with and stuff, but you can just get some little poses going without having to like have a doll stand. It takes like a second, but it's not too hard. And then the hat does go on. So yeah, I'm really liking her. So the first one so far, this is Nutcracker, and I think she's pretty cute. And then we'll go on to the next one. So for the second one, we've got Wonderland, where she looks like Alice in Wonderland, but with like the ears and stuff. And here we can get a close-up look of her face, and she's got a cute expression. So already between the first one I've opened and the second one, you can see the difference with the face plates, where she's got much wider open eyes and, you know, different lashes and face up. And she's got this bright blonde hair color with her little pigtails off shooting out, flowing like as if she was falling, sort of like the front cover picture, and they don't really interfere with her body. And then I'll show her magnets, where she's got her magnet placement here for her different headband. So I do like that their accessories are removable from their hair. It's not attached to the headpiece, but can't quite exactly share the items between each other. Alright, and so here we have Wonderland fully dressed in her outfit, and again, one thing I really like about these outfits is they've put a lot of detail and effort in them, and all of the pieces are separate, where she's got her separate little underdress and the apron that then goes over top, and the apron itself feels like pretty nice thick quality. In the dress, again, here you can see this repeating pattern printed across the bottom with like some bunnies and little bows, and then she ties the apron on with a little bow in the back. And even this collar is a separate piece. Her head did need to fully come off to get that collar on. And she's got these cute striped socks, and then her little shoes with the bow. And she also comes with a little saucer and teacup. And I love the detailing even on this, where it's not just like one solid color. It's like this white with little blue frosting tips around it, and even the teacup itself, let's see if it'll focus, has these little like tiny flower petals printed around on the teacup, and then there's some tea in it. And I do think some of the spare hands they come with, she probably is able to hold that cup and saucer, or it can be used as a nice little accessory alongside a little table. And similar to the Nutcracker, her little headpiece is removable, and it stays in place from the magnets that are secured inside. Onto our third box. For our third character, we have Cinderella, and here is her ID card. And then we can get a close-up of her face. She has a very dazed expression. Here is her magnet placement. But I do like, what's interesting is that her eyes are they're like glittery and shimmery. She looks pretty shocked though. And then she's got this interesting hair color that's this light blue, and then changes down into this darker blue, and it's very shiny. So she's got like a lot of shine to her. And then here is the Cinderella character fully dressed in her outfit. And she's got her main thing as the one single piece of a dress. And so she was a little bit easier to get dressed than the first two. And then these little sleeves just slide on. Here she's got her little like purse hanging off of a little chain. And the dress is just one piece of Velcroed up and down the back. And I really like the look of her outfit. I like the this light blue color and the white and the sharp contrast that the little black accents of the small ribbon add. Her headpiece is a little cute and silly, where it's kind of like a ruffle piece, like a maid's headdress, which is, I guess, a little fitting for Cinderella's story. And I really like her hair mold, but I'm not crazy about it being like this blue color, though I do like that they probably wanted to have some variety with not all of the characters being like blonde or some variation of blonde, so I guess that's fun. And then on to the fourth box, and then we have the character that very much is Snow White inspired, and I think her name might be Magic Mirror. And here we can get the close-up where we see her little magnets, and those do seem like pretty similar placement to the Alice in Wonderland ones, or maybe it's actually the Cinderella characters. I quite like her expression. She's got a very pleasant, calm expression, and I like her warm colored eyes. I think those are a nice color. But we've gotten so far a lot of blue, but it's nice to see these like more warm, kind of like a red, almost reddish orange. And then I really like this hairstyle she has too, where it's like a deep brown and then it fades into kind of like a warm reddish tone along the tips. All right, and here we have her fully dressed. She's definitely the hardest to get to stand because her hair is so thick that it does make her a bit more top heavy than the other ones. And then similar to the sort of Alice in Wonderland character, she has a little accessory, which is this little apple that has a bite taken out of it. She's another character where she needed to have her head fully removed to get her little tiny red choker on. And then her accessory being this bow. I think it's really interesting that they have it like fully flocked, And it's got a slight different look to it facing forward or back. Either way it sits on her head just fine, both directions. Yeah, again, she is quite top heavy. I really like her. For fairy tale princesses, Snow White's never been like a favorite of mine. And part of that is her outfit coloring, but I think they did a good job of incorporating the like yellow, blue, and red together without making it look too clashing. And I do really like the hairstyle they've given her, and even her dress style is pretty cute. So yeah, I do like this character, and they're all very cute so far. All right, and we'll move on to the next one, being the fifth. And here's the fifth box. And here with our fifth character, we have Thumbelina, and here's her little character card. And unfortunately for me, it seems like I've gotten one that doesn't have her magnets, and it didn't include her little headpiece accessory either that would attach to it. But for her expression, she's got a very pleasant expression with a cute little smile, and I like her little like green and pinkish eyes. And then again, she's got the blonde hair. Her hair the sculpt does get a little in the way with her range of movement here, hitting her shoulder. Okay, so I did jump the gun a little and saying I didn't have her hair accessory. She just has this headband, so she doesn't need the magnets, but it would have been nice if they still added them just so you could swap with some of the pieces that have similar placement. And I wanted to go ahead and show what her dress looks like without her little apron on. And a quick look at the back of the dress, where you can see it's just the one single strip of the Velcro enclosure. And then here she is with the apron on as well. And again, I love that they keep all the little details sewn on, and even the tiny, tiny buttons are sewn down. And she's got this little basket as an accessory. I think it's funny that they went with saying that she's Thumbelina, because there's nothing in particular about her that stands out to me as being like, oh, she's Thumbelina. But yeah, I still think she's a cute little fairy tale looking character. And then our sixth and final box. And here's the character card for the Princess and the Pea character. An up close look, and here she also, we can see she doesn't have the any magnets either. And she's got a kind of cute but silly face where she's making this like sort of pout or sort of like biting her cheek look. I do like her little eye color and her eye shape that she's got as well. And this pink hair is very fun. I like the shade of it, and I love the little leaves and the hair. And I want to show up close her little pea purse with the different faces the peas have. It's pretty cute and silly. And then here we have her in her full outfit, and her shirt and little jumper are separate pieces. I can show that in the back where the shirt has a Velcro closure, and then the little jumper over skirt also has a closure. I really like the different fabrics they used on this outfit. It's got so much going on, where it's got the gingham print here at the bottom and along as like a border along the top, and it's just such a pretty shade of green they used for her. Out of the whole set, she was the one I was looking forward to the most. Definitely think she is my favorite, even though she's got kind of this silly little grumpy or, pouty face going on here. And as far as weight distribution goes with the hairpiece, I think hers is the easiest to manage. It has the least weight, it feels like, amongst the rest of them. Though the Nutcracker might also be like pretty similar in weight for the hair. And then to finish things off, I have a quick height comparison between the season 1 Liroro and the season 2. The season 2 are just a little bit taller. The main difference, I think, was their legs. They made season 2 have these like longer legs, and they are noticeably skinnier, where season 1s are like much more stocky legs comparatively. But they do feel pretty similar in the ability to like pose them or get them to stay standing, might be a little easier with season 1, but not a huge difference. And then the face plates and hair are interchangeable between the two. The main difference being that it seems like the Liroro season 2 are just a slightly paler shade and maybe like a little less warm toned, but just ever so slight. So here you can see I switched the face plates between these two and it worked just fine. So it's good for having more customization and compatibility with between the lines. And then of course the clothes should all fit each other just fine, where these might be like a little short on them, but I mean, stuff like this dress is already really long. All right, well, that's everything for this set. I really liked this set. I think it was a cute idea they had, and I love fairy tale things, and I'm looking forward to what's next with the Liroros and anything from Simontoys. As always, thanks for watching, and let me know if you had any favorite characters or what you liked about the series or didn't like. All right, thanks. Bye.